Now, a lot of you guys know this, so I'm not coming on here acting like I'm coming with some groundbreaking new information or anything like that. But I wanted to talk with you guys about BoxRec. I just wanted to point out some things about BoxRec, and I want to point out how it's not exactly as credible as some of you guys may believe. Now, BoxRec is nothing but the numbers in black and white. That's basically what it is. It's just in black and white. Okay, it doesn't get into any backstories. It doesn't show you any of the gray shit that happens in these fights that may have changed the outcome of these fights or played a role in these fights. Okay, BoxRec doesn't get into all of that. Now, when you look up a fighter, it may give you a brief summary of them at the top. You know, tell you a little bit about their life, where they were born and stuff like that. But it's not going to give you the backstories on every single fucking fight that they've had. Okay? And I think that the gray areas that you can't get from BoxRec is very fucking critical. And I'm going to give you some examples why, okay? Now, according to BoxRec, Miguel Cotto lost to Antonio Margarito. Bottom line. I mean, that's what BoxRec says, and it says it in black and white. Margarito stopped Miguel Cotto in the 11th round. That's what BoxRec says. Okay, but what about all the other gray shit that's involved with that fight? Okay, because now we know for a fact that Antonio Margarito had bricks in his fucking gloves that night. As Miguel Cotto pointed out in the photo that he was showing us on the face-off of Antonio Margarito's hand wraps with the pink stain on the knuckle and the tear in the hand wraps. That shit is not supposed to be there. And another thing I feel is that Antonio Margarito was on that liquid that night. There's no way that you're going to tell me a man is going to leap chin first into Miguel Cotto's plus shots to the chin. And he's not even blinking or moving. He just keeps coming forward and getting stronger as the fight progresses. Okay, he was on that juice in that fight as well. I believe that anyway. But according to BoxRec, in black and white, Antonio Margarito beat Miguel Cotto. Another example. And another point. According to BoxRec, the road warrior Glenn Johnson is a fucking bum. Have you seen Glenn Johnson's record on BoxRec? He looks like a fucking bum when you look at those fucking numbers, right? And then let's say a kid, 10 years down the line, he wants to look up Roy Jones, okay? And he goes on BoxRec, he looks up Roy Jones, and he wants to look at the guys that Roy Jones lost to. Okay, he's going to go and he's going to click on Glenn Johnson and be like, what the fuck? This guy was a bum. He knocked out Roy Jones? Oh, Roy Jones wasn't really shit if he got knocked out by this fucking bum right here. Oh, people are putting too much on Roy. He got knocked out by Glenn Johnson. Look at his fucking record, right? But then when you look at the gray shit that comes along with Glenn Johnson, you'll see that this was a tough motherfucker, man. If you weren't on your game, he might fuck around and knock you out like he did Roy Jones. Okay, how many times can you remember Glenn Johnson saying that he felt that he won the fight? Now, a couple of those times he was full of shit, but how many of them times did you say, you know what, this motherfucker's got a point, man? He was pasting this motherfucker. I would say that Glenn Johnson is no fucking bum. Okay? He was just a guy who did just enough to lose, but he damn near won some of those fights. And those fights were still tough, man. Yes, those guys beat Glenn Johnson, but they got the shit beat out of them while they were doing it. But that's the gray shit that BoxRec is not going to get into. Okay? According to BoxRec, Brandon Vera lost to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He lost to him. Point blank period. It says it right there on BoxRec. He lost to him. Okay, but when you get into the gray area again of it, we have the advantage of having the footage. So we know that Brandon Vera won that fight. We know that. We have that advantage. But 50 years from now, when a kid who's too lazy to really do any real research, he just goes to BoxRec and he's looking at the record, it's just going to say that Julio Cesar Chavez beat Brandon Vera. It's not going to say Brandon Vera was robbed. So the point that I was really making in my Sugar Ray Robinson video is that we don't know for sure, just based off of those records, how many of those guys that Sugar Ray Robinson fought that were road warriors like Glenn Johnson. We don't know that for sure, just based off of the numbers. Because guess what? We don't have a lot of footage of those guys. And shout outs to Joe Habib. He sent me some videos, some footage of Sugar Ray Robinson fights. I appreciate that, man. I'm checking those out. I've seen some of those. I've seen a lot of those already. But there's still a lot of footage of Sugar Ray Robinson that's missing, that we can't get our hands on and shit. If you can get your hands on a lot of those, man, let me know. But there's just a lot of footage that we can't review, especially with the opponents and their opponents and their opponents' opponents. I mean, we don't know for sure if these guys are bums. We're just looking at their record and saying that they're bums. We don't know how many times they were robbed. We don't know if they just weren't marketable, so they just kept getting fucked over. We don't know any of that. And on the other side of the argument, I don't know if Sugar Ray Robinson really beat all the guys that they say he beat either, just based off of BoxRec. He could have got a lot of gift decisions himself. But a lot of you guys are acting like Floyd Mayweather has never fought a single bum his entire career. I mean, you guys really do talk like that. You guys act like Floyd Mayweather has fought nothing but world-class, elite competition. That's the way some of you guys talk, man. If Floyd Mayweather, if he fought 200 times, he would have fought just as many bums as you feel Sugar Ray Robinson has. I would put my last dollar on it. Okay, and another point that I wasn't making in my video, I wasn't saying that I expect Floyd Mayweather to go out there and fight 200 times. Okay, that's stupid. I wouldn't expect a fighter to do that at this particular day and age, because we discovered over time that wasn't safe, as Joe Habib pointed out in his video. But that doesn't change the reality of what Sugar Ray Robinson actually did. That this is what he had to go through. He had to fight that often because that's the way it was back then. That's the way that he had to fight to survive back then. He didn't get paid as much money as Floyd Mayweather. And I think that people want to put Floyd Mayweather in the same boat, saying like he's going through the same type of shit as Sugar Ray Robinson. That's complete bullshit, man. Okay, Sugar Ray Robinson did not have as much love as fucking Floyd Mayweather. Okay, Floyd Mayweather has a shitload of fans worldwide, man. He does not have more haters than he has fans. I honestly do not believe that. And back in those times, 9 times out of 10, if you were white, unless you were making money off of Sugar Ray Robinson, you hated his fucking guts. Okay, he didn't have the amount of love and support that Floyd Mayweather has. Okay, he wasn't getting offered the biggest deal in the sport or any of that. Okay, Floyd Mayweather has it pretty fucking damn easy. I don't remember Sugar Ray Robinson ever saying that he felt blessed. I hear Floyd Mayweather say that shit all the time, that he's blessed. He's truly blessed. I don't think Sugar Ray Robinson felt blessed, man. I think he felt cursed with what he had to do to survive. And at the end of the day, it didn't turn out well for him. So that's the point that I was really making. I know that that's not smart for those guys to fight that often in this day and age. And it's changed now for the better. But we know that it had to be changed for the better. So that means that it was rough. That's why they needed to change it. So Sugar Ray Robinson basically had to be the lab rat. You know what I'm saying? He had to go through more punishment than a Floyd Mayweather for less pay. That's the only point that I'm making. He had it tough. He had to fight in a different era. So that's why I think it's hard to compare these eras, because the scenarios have changed so much. People have changed. The sport has evolved into something else. So I think it's too hard to compare the guys. I think that, like Joe Habib was saying, that Floyd Mayweather's name should be mentioned along with Sugar Ray Robinson and other greats, whoever you want to name. But I'm just not saying that Floyd Mayweather is necessarily the number one greatest fighter to ever fucking fight just based off of his skill alone. That's all I'm saying. So that's my video. You guys leave your comments at the bottom, and I'm out. Peace.